When women fight dirty in marriage, it's usually the beginning of the end. This difference in fighting style is one of the most underrated causes of marriage failure ever. And today, we're talking about the women who are just dirty and disgusting when it comes to fighting.
And I need a man, not some broken down, flaccid undertaker.
There must be a lot of them. How else would so many married men be so totally miserable? But back to this in a moment. Imagine for a minute that all family communication and conflict were handled like men have learned their entire lives. If this were the case, just as many marriages would fail, but at least the man's way is a lot less torturous and painful. Men and women are raised differently about how we deal with people, especially when it comes to conflicts. And most importantly, their resolution. Think about two women fighting. Now, picture two men fighting. What's the main difference? Yes, getting punched in the face. Therefore, the things a woman will do in a verbal confrontation are very different from a man. Some feel they can say anything to another person, even their husbands, especially when justified by anger, while men learned that a fight is possible with one wrong word, so they choose them carefully. These differences impact how each moves through the world. For instance, what do women do to get what they want in the world? They manipulate. They use emotional tactics, words, and actions. Some of these include guilt, nagging, crying, the silent treatment, tantrums, shame, and last but not least, withhold sex. On the flip side, how do men learn how to get what they want when dealing with conflict, which they also take into their relationship? Be aggressive but respectful, work harder, be honest, work smarter, uplift the team, change the approach, basically, be better to get better. All of which make the women that we're talking about even more degrading. But that's for another subject. Which brings us to the question, who is more likely skilled in the art of marriage communication? You know, verbally discussing and planning things that get couples through life. Yes, women who have practiced verbal judo their whole lives. So, when men and women enter into the relationship zone, his verbal skills can kind of seem like,
Ugh, words. Hard. No. Speak. Good.
which is fine, unless the woman is the domineering type with no rules that we are talking about here. Her behavior is as unfair as if the husband decided to go all Rambo with his style of fighting. But since that's something he will never do, he ends up as broken as she would be. These women only give men 3 choices. First one, some men will trust their wife's judgment as full truth, accept the shame, and shrink into the weakest version of themselves. Second, the men who see the situation clearly before their self-respect is ruined will just leave, which is rare because most women move very slowly and make sure they are not detected. And 3, how can women stop this disgusting pattern of breaking their men and then resenting him for being broken? This simple way would be if the woman would realize one thing. How would she feel if every time something was up for debate, her husband made her do this? But since the women aren't these types to do this, obviously, let's make a plan that will help him become the man they both wanted in the beginning. Having a talk is good, but she's already used that to break him. So, as a bit of fun, the next time the woman wants to use her superior verbal skills to win, offer instead to have a push-up or pull-up contest. Winner decides who's right, or a paycheck contest, or a ditch digging contest, fence building, car fixing, bench press challenge. You get the idea. Whatever it takes to make the point. trade verbal battles for other challenges to show the man of the house has other skills and value that help the marriage thrive. This realization will help you both get some clarity and respect for the men who do so much to make our lives easier. See you next time.